I. Friday, May 16, 2025, AGNDD intelliReport topic. Rubik's Cube. Please pardon any visual and informational inaccuracies in this entirely AI-generated Wikipedia-sourced video article. Discover the intriguing origins of the iconic Rubik's Cube, tracing its evolution from early magnetic puzzles to a global sensation, and the pivotal figures behind its creation and success. In March 1970, Larry D. Nichols invented a 2x2x2 puzzle held together by magnets and filed a Canadian patent. He was granted a U.S. patent in 1972, predating Rubik's Cube by 2 years. Meanwhile, Frank Fox applied for a patent on a spherical sliding puzzle for noughts and crosses in April 1970, receiving his UK patent in January 1974. In the mid-1970s, Erno Rubik developed the magic cube to solve a structural problem of moving parts independently, not initially realizing it was a puzzle. He patented it in Hungary in 1975. The first batches were released in Budapest toy shops in 1977. In 1979, businessman Tibor Látszai introduced it at the Nuremberg Toy Fair, catching the attention of Seven Towns founder Tom Kremer. A deal with Ideal Toys led to its international release as Rubik's Cube in 1980. Adjustments were made for Western markets, including lighter design and varied packaging, with the first exports in May 1980. After its release in 1980, the Rubik's Cube initially saw modest sales until a successful advertising campaign boosted its popularity. By 1981, it became a global craze, with around 200 million units sold by 1983. The cube won numerous awards and inspired a speed cubing championship, book publications, and a cartoon show. Despite its initial success, sales declined by late 1982, although interest remained high in countries like China and the USSR due to shortages. The cube was recognized as a cultural icon, with exhibitions at the Museum of Modern Art and the 1982 World's Fair. Interest in Rubik's Cubes resurged in the early 2000s, with U.S. sales doubling from 2001 to 2003. The 2003 Rubik's Cube World Championship in Toronto reignited competitive interest, leading to the World Cube Association's formation in 2004. By 2008, annual sales of Rubik-branded cubes reached 15 million globally. The rise of video platforms like YouTube helped fans share solving strategies, boosting popularity. After Rubik's patent expired in 2000, Chinese companies produced speed-optimized cubes favored by speedcubers. On October 27, 2020, Spin Master announced a $50 million acquisition of the Rubik's Cube brand. Due to an initial shortage of cubes, numerous imitations and variations emerged, potentially infringing on patents. After the patents expired in 2000, many Chinese companies began producing copies, modifications, and enhancements of the original Rubik and V-Cube designs. Moleculon Research Corp sued Ideal in 1982 for patent infringement related to Nichols's patent. The court ruled in 1984 that Ideal's Rubik's 202x2 Pocket Cube infringed on Nichols's patent, a decision upheld on appeal in 1986. However, the ruling on the 3i3x3 cube was overturned. Meanwhile, Terutoshi Ishigi independently filed a Japanese patent for a similar mechanism, granted in 1976 due to Japan's then lenient patent laws. Rubik continued to file patents, securing a U.S. patent for the cube in 1983, which expired in 2000. Ishigi's patent is considered an independent reinvention. Rubik's Brand Limited holds trademarks for Rubik and Rubik's and the puzzle's visualizations. The European Union's General Court upheld these trademarks in 2014 against a German toy manufacturer. However, European manufacturers can create similar puzzles with different shapes, like Scube or Pyraminx. In 2016, the EU Court of Justice ruled that the Rubik's Cube shape alone was insufficient for trademark protection, ending a decade-long legal battle. A standard Rubik's Cube measures 5.6 centimeters on each side and comprises 26 unique miniature cubes, or cubies. The puzzle's core mechanism includes a single piece with 3 intersecting axes that hold 6 center squares, allowing them to rotate. The cube consists of 21 pieces, 1 core and 20 smaller pieces. Each centerpiece pivots on a fastener, with springs ensuring compactness while allowing manipulation. Older cubes used adjustable screws, while newer ones use rivets. The cube can be disassembled and reassembled easily. It features 6 central pieces, 12 edge pieces, and 8 corner pieces, each with specific color combinations. The puzzle, initially marketed as having over 3 billion combinations with only one solution, actually has a much higher number of combinations, depending on how they are calculated. The Rubik's Cube has 43 quintillion possible permutations achievable through legal moves, calculated by considering the arrangements and orientations of corners and edges. Each corner and edge has specific orientation dependencies, leading to a vast number of combinations. If considering illegal permutations achieved by disassembling the cube, the number increases to 519 quintillion, though only 1/12 are solvable due to the cube's mechanics. The permutations assume fixed center faces. If rotations of the entire cube are considered, the permutations multiply by 24. This immense number of configurations highlights the complexity and challenge of solving the Rubik's Cube. Marking the center squares of a Rubik's Cube, creating a supercube, increases its complexity by adding orientation challenges. Originally, the cube's centers had no orientation markings, simplifying the solve. However, marking centers or using designs like low-shoe magic squares or images makes orientation matter, expanding the possible configurations significantly. While the original cube has 4, 3x10^19 permutations, marking centers increases this to 8, 9^1^22. Considering center face arrangements further boosts permutations to 2, 1^110^24. Thus, solving a marked cube involves additional challenges requiring correct orientation of centers, adding a layer of difficulty beyond the standard solve. In Rubik's Cube solving, an algorithm refers to a memorized sequence of moves designed to achieve a specific effect on the cube. Derived from mathematical terminology, it involves well-defined instructions to transition the cube from an initial state to a desired end state. Different solving methods use unique algorithms, often targeting small parts of the cube to avoid disrupting solved sections. Some algorithms, while achieving desired effects like swapping corners, may also alter other parts, making them useful early in the solving process. More complex algorithms are used later to minimize unintended changes. Rubik's Cube utilizes mathematical group theory, aiding in algorithm development, particularly through commutator and conjugate structures. These structures, involving specific move sequences and their inverses, are crucial for solving strategies. The cube's group theory includes well-defined subgroups, allowing learners to progress through different difficulty levels, such as solving with only 180-degree turns. This subgroup concept is foundational in computer-based solving methods like Thistlethwaites and Cosiembas, which reduce the cube to simpler subgroups for efficient solving. Singmaster notation is a system used by Rubik's Cube enthusiasts to denote moves, allowing algorithms to be applied regardless of cube orientation. It uses letters to represent face turns: F, front; B, back; U, up; D, down; L, left; and R, right. Lowercase letters or W indicate two-layer moves. Prime symbols indicate anti-clockwise turns, while a number 2 denotes a 180-degree turn. The notation extends to larger cubes with additional layers. An alternative, Wolstenholme notation, replaces U with T, top, for easier memorization. Middle layer turns use M, E, and S for specific layers. A move sequence on a solved cube will eventually return it to its original state, with the smallest number of iterations being the sequence's period. For example, a 180-degree turn has a period of 2, and a 90-degree turn has a period of 4. The maximum period is 1260, achievable with various move sequences. These sequences can include full rotations, combinations of different moves, or specific types of turns like clockwise quarter turns or lateral turns. Examples include sequences like FX's 1260 or URSUL 1260, demonstrating the complexity and variation possible in cube-solving sequences. Rubik's Cube solutions have evolved significantly, with many methods allowing solving in under 100 moves. David Singmaster's 1981 solution involves solving the cube layer by layer. With practice, this can be done in under a minute. Other methods include corners first and combinations of techniques. In 1982, Singmaster and Frey speculated that an ideal algorithm could solve the cube in the low 20s of moves. By 2007, it was shown any 3x3x3 cube could be solved in 26 moves or fewer. In 2010, researchers proved God's number is 20, meaning any configuration can be solved in 20 moves or less. Jessica Friedrich's CFOP method, popular among speedcubers, involves solving the cross, first two layers, F2L, orienting the last layer, OLL, and permuting the last layer, PLL, using up to 120 algorithms. Lars Petrus developed a method starting with a 2x2x2 block, then a 2x2x3, minimizing moves by solving incorrect edges early. Gilles Roux's method focuses on block building, solving a 3x2x1 block on each side, then the top corners, finishing with U-layer and M-slice moves. Both Petrus and Roux methods aim for efficiency with fewer moves, appealing for fewest move competitions. Beginner methods for solving the Rubik's Cube typically involve a layer-by-layer approach using 3-8 algorithms. In 1981, Patrick Bossert created a novice-friendly solution with graphical notation, published as You Can Do the Cube, which became a bestseller. In 1997, Denny Dedmore introduced a solution using diagrammatic icons for moves. Philip Marshall's The Ultimate Solution to Rubik's Cube offers a different method, requiring only 2 algorithms and averaging 65 twists. It starts with solving the cross, then the edges, followed by 5 corners, and finishes with the last 3 corners, simplifying the process for solvers. Online Rubik's Cube solvers often use Herbert Kosciemba's 2-phase algorithm, which can find solutions in 20 moves or fewer. Users input the cube's scrambled color configuration, and the program provides the necessary steps to solve it. Speed cubing involves solving a Rubik's Cube as quickly as possible, with competitions held globally. The first notable event was in 1981, with subsequent World Championships starting in 1982. The World Cube Association, WCA, oversees these events, using an average of 3 middle times from 5 attempts to determine winners since 2003. Various events include blindfolded solving, multiple blindfolded solving, one-handed solving, and solving in the fewest moves. Blindfolded events involve memorization before solving, while multi-blind focuses on solving multiple cubes. Fewest move solving gives contestants an hour to devise and record a solution. As of recent records, Xuanyi Geng holds the world record for the fastest 3x3x3 Rubik's Cube solve at 3.05 seconds, achieved in April 2025. Yiheng Wang set the average solve record at 4.05 seconds in December 2024. Druvasai Maruva holds the one-handed solve record at 5.66 seconds, while Luke Garrett has the fastest average for one-handed solves at 7.72 seconds. Tommy Cherry achieved the fastest blindfolded solve at 12.00 seconds and the mean of 3 at 14.05 seconds. Ro Hessler solved 63 out of 66 cubes blindfolded in under an hour. The fewest moves record is 16, shared by Sebastiano Tronto, Aidan Bryant, and Levi Gibson. The fastest non-human Rubik's Cube solve was achieved by a robot called Rubik's Contraption, completing it in 0.38 seconds. Jeremy Smith holds the record for solving a 21x21x21 cube in 95 minutes and 55.52 seconds. For group solving, 134 students from Dr. Chalonnet's grammar school set a record in 2010 for solving cubes in 12 minutes. In 2012, 1414 participants at the O2 Arena in London broke the record for solving cubes in under 30 minutes. Additionally, 3,248 students from the College of Engineering Pune set a record for group solving in 30 minutes, recorded in the Limca Book of Records. Rubik's Cubes come in various sizes and shapes, with the most common being the 200x2x2, 3x3x3, 4x4x4, and 5x5x5 cubes. Larger cubes up to 21x21x21 are available from manufacturers like Moyu. The World Cube Association holds competitions for cubes up to 7x7. Variants include electronic versions and other geometric shapes like tetrahedrons and dodecahedrons. The largest cube, a 33x33x33, was created by Gregoire Fenig. Puzzles also exist in the form of Kepler-Poinsot polyhedra. These variations highlight the cube's influence on puzzle design and competitive solving. Various puzzles have been created based on the Rubik's Cube, including cuboids with different dimensions like 2x2x4 and 3x3x5. Shape mods involve altering the cube's shape, such as the Trabeger's octahedron, formed by modifying a 3x3x3 cube. These shape modifications can be applied to higher-order cubes, exemplified by Tony Fisher's rhombic dodecahedron, which exists in versions ranging from 3x3 to 6x6. Computer software allows for the simulation of puzzles like the Rubik's Cube, enabling the creation of extremely large or complex puzzles that are impractical or impossible to physically construct. This includes virtual puzzles and higher-dimensional versions of the Rubik's Cube that cannot exist in the real world. Google, in collaboration with Erno Rubik, has launched the Chrome Cube Lab. This platform features interactive objects inspired by the Rubik's Cube, allowing users to create and upload their own customized versions of the iconic puzzle. The Liberty Science Center and Google created an interactive Rubik's Cube exhibit in Jersey City, New Jersey, to celebrate the Cube's 40th anniversary. Opened in April 2014, it featured a rooftop cube controlled via cell phones, a diamond-encrusted cube, a giant walk-in cube, and cube-solving robots. The exhibit toured internationally for 7 years. The Rubik's Cube has inspired various art installations, including Tony Rosenthal's Alamo in New York City, and a prank by University of Michigan students who transformed a campus sculpture into a Rubik's Cube for April Fool's Day in 2008. Rubik's Cube art, or Rubik Cubism, evolved from the folk art of the 1980s and 1990s into a pop art form using pointillism. Initially pioneered by Fred Holley in the mid-1980s, the style gained prominence with artists like Invader and Robbie McKinnon. Invader's 2005 exhibition Rubik Cubism showcased pointillist works using Rubik's Cubes, while McKinnon exhibited pop art-inspired pieces. In 2010, Pete Fecteau created Dream Big, a tribute to Martin Luther King Jr., using over 4,000 Rubik's Cubes. Fecteau also developed educational guides for creating Rubik's Cube mosaics, further popularizing the art form. Italian composer Maria Manone designed the cube harmonic, a cube featuring musical note names on its sides. By altering its configuration, it forms various chord structures. The text appears to be a brief mention of Games 100 Inches lists for the years 1980 and 1981. These lists likely highlight the top 100 games from those years, possibly across various categories or platforms. These references are books focused on the mathematics and design of the Rubik's Cube. They include Mathematics of the Rubik's Cube Design by Hannah M. Bizek, Handbook of Cubic Math by Alexander Frey and David Singmaster, Rubik's Cubic Compendium, edited by David Singmaster, and The Cube, The Ultimate Guide to the World's Best-Selling Puzzle by Jerry Slocum and others. Each book explores different aspects of the Rubik's Cube, from its mathematical underpinnings to its design and cultural impact. The Rubik's Cube quickly became a global sensation, inspiring countless enthusiasts and sparking a puzzle revolution that continues to captivate minds worldwide.
Thank you for watching this AGND intelliReport, dear viewers. Like, subscribe, and click the bell button to get notified during new uploads. And make sure to tune in next time. Stay safe and healthy. Cheers.